Hi, I'm Lindsay from My Better Batch, and today we're going to make chocolate toffee crunch cookies. This recipe combines the traditional flavor of chocolate chip cookies with the creamy toffee milk chocolate flavor of Heath Bar. Let's get baking. One of my very favorite candy bars is a Heath Bar. It has a crunchy toffee center and then a nice thin coating of milk chocolate on the outside. This classic candy bar is even better when it's combined with semi-sweet chocolate chips and chocolate chip cookie dough.
Here's what you'll need: unsalted butter, granulated sugar, light brown sugar, vanilla extract, eggs, all-purpose flour, salt, baking powder, baking soda, semi-sweet chocolate chips, and Heath Bar Pieces.
All right, today I'm going to use my stand mixer, but you could use a hand mixer or even mix this by hand if you don't have one of those. We're going to start by adding 1 cup of unsalted butter, 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar, and 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar. And we're going to start by creaming these together on medium for a few minutes.
This is always the most important step in the process. During this process, the butter and the sugars undergo a transformation in both texture and consistency. As the sugar crystals dissolve into the butter, a soft, smooth, and creamy consistency begins to form. After about 4 minutes on medium speed, this is what your ingredients should look like when they're properly creamed together. It's light, fluffy, and smooth with no visible signs of butter or sugar.
Now that our butter and our sugars are creamed together, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1 egg and 1 egg yolk. And then we're going to put it back on medium speed for another 45 seconds to a minute just to make sure all of these ingredients are combined.
In a separate mixing bowl, we're going to combine all of our remaining dry ingredients: our flour, baking soda, baking powder, and salt. Using a whisk, just give it a quick stir to combine. Now that we've mixed our dry ingredients together, it's time to add them to our wet ingredients. I like to add about 1/3 of the dry ingredients at a time. So there's not really a right or a wrong way to do this, but in my quest to move as quickly as possible, I've tried to push it and have ended up with a big poof of flour when I turn the mixer on. This is an absolute disaster, and I don't recommend it. Once all your ingredients are fully combined, your dough should look like this.
All right, now let's add our chocolate chips and our Heath Bar. So first we're gonna add 3/4 of a cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips and 3/4 of a cup of chopped Heath Bar. And we are going to just fold this in gently.
You just fold it in.
And now our dough is complete. Using my 2-tablespoon cookie scoop, I'm gonna place 6 cookies onto the cookie sheet. I like to start with 6 cookies for the first cookie sheet to gauge how much the cookies will rise and spread. This helps me make sure that the cookies don't bake together into one giant cookie.
So the cookie scoop helps us to get a really nice uniform shape and size. But one thing that I like to do, just to take it over the top, is although there's a ton of Heath Bar in here and you can see the chocolate chips, we're just gonna roll the tops of each into a little bit of extra Heath Bar that I have. I don't know that there could be too much Heath Bar in a cookie, and so we're just going to make sure that the top of each one has a really nice generous amount of chocolate and Heath Bar, and that's gonna bake really nicely in there. All right, last one, and we're gonna put them in the oven.
Our cookies are ready to head into the oven. I've set it at 375 degrees and they'll bake for about 11 minutes. I'm gonna check the cookies at the 8-minute mark just to see how they're progressing and watch them every 1 to 2 minutes from there. I'm looking to make sure the edges are golden brown but not too dark and the center of the cookie is set. Once your cookies are complete, pull them out of the oven and let them cool on the cookie sheet for about 5 minutes. Then you can remove them to a cooling rack for another 10 to 15 minutes until they're completely cool.
Check out our chocolate toffee crunch cookies. They just came out of the oven. They're still a little bit warm. They smell absolutely delicious. These cookies are full of Heath Bar and semi-sweet chocolate chips. It really is the perfect combination. They're slightly crisper on the edge, but they do have a nice gooey center and they're really soft. Great texture, great flavor. We love them in this house. If you've got a favorite cookie recipe that you like to make and eat, we would love for you to share it with us. Who knows, we might give it a try. I'm Lindsay with My Better Batch. Thanks for baking with us today.